Has someone you love started showing subtle but concerning changes over the past year? Many people assume that death in old age happens suddenly, but the truth is the body often sends quiet warnings months, sometimes even a year, before life reaches its final stage. The problem is that most people miss these signs because they seem small at first. It's only later, looking back, that families realize the clues were there all along. But by then, it's too late to prepare, too late to make those last memories count. In this video, we're going to discuss 6 key signs that often appear a year before an elderly person passes away. Some of them might be things you've noticed, but brushed off as just aging. Others might seem minor, but actually signal the body's gradual decline. Recognizing these signs early gives you the opportunity to provide better care, cherish meaningful moments, and, most importantly, ensure that your loved one's final stage of life is filled with comfort, dignity, and peace. Stay with us until the end, because these 5 signs can help you prepare emotionally and practically for what's ahead. When you understand what's happening, you won't be caught off guard. You'll be able to make the most of the time you have left with those you love. 1. Significant weight loss. One of the earliest and most telling signs that a person may be approaching the final year of life is unintentional weight loss. At first, it might seem subtle. A belt that suddenly needs tightening, clothes that appear looser, or a once hearty appetite that begins to fade. Many families dismiss this as just part of getting older, but the truth is that losing weight without trying is rarely a good sign. It often indicates that the body is no longer absorbing nutrients efficiently, muscle mass is decreasing, and essential systems are slowing down. Aging naturally leads to some muscle loss, but when it happens too quickly, it's a sign of a deeper issue. The body may be struggling to digest food properly, or it may no longer be able to process protein effectively, leading to muscle wasting. This loss of strength doesn't just make movement more difficult, it increases the risk of falls, weakens the immune system, and leaves the person vulnerable to infections. Another reason for weight loss in the final year of life is appetite changes. Many elderly individuals simply don't feel hungry the way they used to. Their sense of taste fades, food no longer seems enjoyable, and they may start skipping meals or eating much smaller portions. This isn't just a matter of preference, it's a physiological change. The body, sensing that it's beginning to shut down, no longer signals the brain to seek food as often. The result? Less energy, less strength, and a gradual decline in overall health. Underlying medical conditions also play a role. Weight loss is a common symptom of chronic diseases like cancer, heart failure, or kidney disease, all of which can begin progressing long before more obvious symptoms appear. Even conditions like depression or cognitive decline can lead to reduced eating, creating a downward spiral where the body isn't receiving enough fuel to sustain itself. Some families try to solve the problem by encouraging their loved ones to eat more, offering favorite foods, or supplementing meals with protein drinks. But if the weight continues to drop despite these efforts, it's important to recognize that the issue isn't just diet, it's the body preparing for a deeper transition. At this stage, forcing large meals may not help. Instead, focusing on comfort, easy-to-eat foods, and hydration can make a bigger difference in maintaining quality of life. If you notice significant weight loss in an elderly loved one, especially if they're eating less, feeling weaker, or struggling to stay active, it's time to pay attention. This is not just about physical appearance, it's the body sending a message. Understanding that message now can help you prepare for the road ahead with clarity, compassion, and the ability to make every remaining moment meaningful. 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. One of the most noticeable changes in the year leading up to the end of life is a deep, persistent fatigue that doesn't go away with rest. It's not just feeling a little tired after a long day. It's profound exhaustion that makes even simple tasks feel overwhelming. Getting out of bed becomes a challenge. Walking across the room requires effort. Activities that once felt routine, like cooking, dressing, or even holding a conversation, start to feel too draining. This isn't just a result of aging. It's a sign that the body is conserving its remaining energy. As organ function begins to slow, the body starts prioritizing what's most essential. The heart doesn't pump as efficiently, circulation weakens, and muscles don't get the same level of oxygen they once did. This is why many elderly individuals in their final months feel weak, unsteady, and unable to sustain the same level of activity they once enjoyed. Another key factor is metabolic slowdown. The body is designed to produce and use energy, but as it prepares for its final phase, that energy is redirected. Instead of fueling movement, the body shifts toward preservation. This is why someone in decline may start sleeping more, needing longer naps during the day, and finding it harder to stay awake for long periods. Some may even experience sudden drops in energy, fine one moment but completely drained the next. Perhaps the most heartbreaking part of this process is the emotional impact of fatigue. Many seniors who once took pride in their independence begin feeling frustrated or even embarrassed that they can't do what they used to. They may withdraw from conversations, avoid social interactions, or stop engaging in hobbies, not because they don't care, but because they simply don't have the energy. This can lead to a cycle of isolation, which only accelerates the decline. For families, watching a loved one go from active and engaged to exhausted and withdrawn can be painful. It's easy to assume they're just being lazy or that they need to push through it. But the reality is that forcing activity won't help. What matters most is understanding their limits, allowing them to rest when needed, and making their remaining days as comfortable as possible. If you notice a loved one experiencing deep ongoing fatigue that isn't relieved by rest, take it as a sign that their body is going through a major transition. This is the time to cherish conversations, create moments of peace, and support them without expectations. In the end, what matters most isn't how much they can do, it's that they feel loved, understood, and at ease. 3. Noticeable changes in memory and thinking. Cognitive decline is a common part of aging, but when memory lapses become more frequent and confusion increases, it could be a sign that the body is preparing for its final stage. Many elderly individuals in their last year of life begin to struggle with remembering names, dates, or even familiar routines. They may ask the same questions repeatedly, forget where they place things, or have trouble following conversations. At first, these changes might seem minor, losing track of time, mixing up details, or occasionally feeling disoriented. But as time goes on, the confusion often deepens. A person may struggle to recognize familiar places, forget the names of loved ones, or even have difficulty understanding what's happening around them. This cognitive decline isn't always due to conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia. In many cases, it's simply a result of the brain receiving less oxygen and nutrients as circulation weakens. As organ function slows, the brain starts to prioritize essential functions, leading to lapses in short-term memory and difficulty processing new information. Emotional changes often accompany cognitive decline. You might notice your loved one becoming more irritable, anxious, or withdrawn. They may struggle to express their thoughts or seem frustrated when they can't remember something. This can be heartbreaking to witness, but understanding that these changes are part of the body's natural process can help you respond with patience and compassion. If your loved one is experiencing significant cognitive decline, focus on creating a calm and familiar environment. Avoid overwhelming them with too many questions or corrections. Instead, offer gentle reminders, keep routines simple, and provide reassurance when they seem confused. Sometimes, just being present and offering comfort is more valuable than trying to correct or fix memory lapses. 4. Social withdrawal and loss of interest in activities. A noticeable sign that someone is nearing the final stages of life is a gradual withdrawal from social interactions and activities they once enjoyed. In the past, your loved one may have looked forward to family gatherings, phone calls, or hobbies, but now they seem disinterested or even avoidant. At first, this withdrawal may seem like a simple change in mood. They may say they're just tired, not feeling up to it, or prefer to be alone. But over time, this isolation becomes more pronounced. They may stop answering calls, decline invitations, or prefer to sit quietly rather than engage in conversation. This shift isn't necessarily due to depression, though that can be a factor, but rather a natural response to the body slowing down. As energy levels drop, socializing becomes exhausting. Even listening to a conversation can require effort. The body is conserving what little energy it has left, prioritizing essential functions over external engagement. Additionally, as people approach the end of life, their focus often turns inward. They begin reflecting on their past, processing emotions, and coming to terms with their journey. This introspection can make socializing feel less important. It's not that they don't care about loved ones. It's simply that their mind and body are shifting toward a different phase. If your loved one is withdrawing, try not to take it personally. Instead, find quiet ways to connect. Sitting in the same room, holding their hand, or simply being present can mean more than words. Allow them the space to process their emotions while letting them know they're not alone. 5. Changes in breathing and circulation. One of the most telling physical signs that someone is in their final months is a shift in their breathing patterns and circulation. These changes may start subtly, but become more noticeable as time goes on. You may observe that your loved one's breathing becomes more shallow or irregular. At times, they may take long pauses between breaths, a pattern known as Cheney-Stokes breathing. This is common as the body's oxygen levels fluctuate and the respiratory system begins to slow down. Circulatory changes are also a key indicator. The body starts prioritizing blood flow to essential organs, which can lead to cold hands and feet, pale or bluish skin, and a general feeling of being cold even in a warm environment. Some people may experience swelling in their legs and feet due to weakened circulation, as the heart struggles to pump blood efficiently. If you notice these changes, it's important to ensure your loved one remains as comfortable as possible. Keeping them warm with blankets, adjusting their position to ease breathing, and using a humidifier to prevent dryness can help. Above all, being there to offer reassurance and comfort is what truly matters. 6. Decreased appetite and difficulty swallowing. Another significant sign that someone is in their final months of life is a noticeable decrease in appetite and difficulty swallowing. This happens because the body is slowing down and no longer requires as much energy to sustain itself. At first, your loved one may start eating smaller portions or show less interest in meals they once enjoyed. Over time, they may begin skipping meals altogether, taking only a few bites or preferring liquids over solid foods. This isn't simply a loss of appetite, it's the body naturally preparing for the end by conserving energy and reducing unnecessary strain on the digestive system. As the process continues, swallowing may become more difficult. You might notice coughing or choking while eating or drinking, or they may hold food in their mouth without swallowing. This occurs because the muscles responsible for swallowing weaken, making it harder to coordinate the process. During this time, forcing food isn't beneficial and can actually cause discomfort. Instead, focus on offering small sips of water, ice chips, or moist foods that are easier to swallow. Providing mouth swabs or lip balm can also help keep their mouth hydrated and comfortable. It's important to remember that refusing food is not a sign of giving up. It's a natural part of the body shutting down. The best thing you can do is ensure they are comfortable and respect their body's needs. Recognizing these 6 signs, significant weight loss, extreme fatigue, cognitive decline, social withdrawal, changes in breathing and circulation, and decreased appetite, can help you prepare emotionally and provide compassionate care for your loved one. While it's difficult to see these changes, understanding that they are a natural part of the transition can help you respond with patience and love. The most important thing is to be present, offer comfort, and cherish every moment you have together. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing for more insights on aging, end-of-life care, and how to support your loved ones through life's most challenging moments. Let us know in the comments if you've noticed any of these signs in someone close to you. Your experience may help others on the same journey. Thank you for watching, and remember, your presence and love are the greatest gifts you can give.